Hey, what's going on, Diego? I'm making this video for you. I know it's a little bit late, but I finally got around to it. Anyways, this is the midterm exam that you sent me, and so I know you said you had problem with isometric drawing, so we're gonna focus on that in one video, and then I'm gonna send you a video on how to completely and properly do a drawing here because the drawing that your friend sent has some errors in it. So anyways, we're going to go and get started. We're going to get started specifically on just an isometric drawing. So this is just going to be for an isometric video. So the first thing that you want to do whenever you open up a new sheet in AutoCAD is you're going to want to click down here. You're going to want to make sure that these two crosshairs right here, it'll say isometric drafting or ISO draft is on. You're going to want to click that on to enable isometric drawing. Click it off to get regular grid spacing. Again, click on, and you should see the crosshairs change on your screen. Click it off again, or I believe you can also just type in ISO draft to turn it on. Anyways, so the very first thing we're going to do is, of course, we're going to turn it on. The key to isometric drawing is really just pretending like you're on a plane, like you're like basically that you're drawing it in the perspective of the paper. So it'll be a lot easier to do it rather than just talk about it. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I'm scrolling through different planes. This is the left plane, right plane, bottom plane, left plane again. And so these allow you to get different perspectives as you draw. And the way that I'm switching through them is just by hitting F5. Because you're going to need to incorporate a couple of different planes to be able to get the right angle that you want. So anyways, let's go ahead and start the drawing. This is what the drawing looks like, so we're going to copy it. I'm going to pretend that this is the test. And so we're going to start by drawing this L shape. Right now, forget about everything else. We're just going to draw this L shape right here, which consists of these whatever, how many lines. I don't even know why I bothered clicking through them. Anyways, we're going to draw that L shape. And so we can see that we need to draw it on the right plane. And you can see it kind of looks like that it would be on the right plane. Again, just try to mess around with the different planes, get used to it. So we're going to draw, actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll draw it on the right plane. So really just click anywhere to get started. It's 60 down if I'm not mistaken. Just make sure I have it right. Yeah, 60 down, 40 over for the length. And again, we're still on this right plane. But you'll notice something. If we go straight across like it would normally be, that would be wrong, right? Because we can't draw this L. We have to draw it in the perspective. So you want to make whatever line you make, it needs to be 90 degrees based on the grid that's behind it. So this would be the 90-degree line. And it'll mark to it. It'll be normally 30 degrees is what the angle is going to be if you were looking at it normally. So just look for 30 degrees is really the magic number here for isometric drawing. Anyways, so it's 40. And I think if I'm not mistaken, it's 20 up. Oh, wrong one. So we're going to go up 20. Over. There we go. Oh, and so just in case you don't get those nice grid snapping lines right here, just in case your computer comes with that disabled on the exam, because these are super useful, the way to turn those on is this is called polar tracking. So if we turn it off, you notice we don't. Oh no, we still get that. What button is that? I'm gonna turn polar tracking back on. I believe it's object snap. It's called object snap tracking. So let's try again. Let's see if it does it. No, it still does it. What is that then? It's not dynamic input, is it? Huh. What is that? Sorry, I know I'm getting caught up here, but there is a way to turn it on or off, and it's important to keep that in mind here, just in case yours comes with it off. Anyways, I was pretty sure it's polar tracking. Yeah, it says restrict. Let's see. Can we just completely turn it off? Polar tracking should restrict it. I don't know why it's filling it in. Huh. Okay. Well, either way, make sure that you have polar tracking on. ISO draft is on. And make sure object snap and the rest are turned on. I forget what setting it is. I'm gonna have to go back in and find out, and I'll let you know. But anyways, let's go ahead and finish up the drawing. So again, this will be at an angle of 30 degrees. So what's that length of that line? It's 40 minus 15, 30, 25. So it's 25. And we're gonna go up. But first we're gonna go over and up. And you notice how I did that? I didn't even bother finding the track. You can do that with AutoCAD drawing. That's a lot of what the program is, actually, just finding ways to really find different just creative ways to make the drawing easier on you. Okay, so we're done with the right tracking. So what I want to do is I want to make, actually no, we're still on here. So we're gonna make this line right here. What did I say that line was? I didn't dimension it here. So we're just gonna give it an approximate distance. I'm gonna say, oh, I don't know. There we go. That looks about right. Match it up here. Okay. And so now I'm going to change views so that this line, the straight line, will be running up against the wall here. And I think this is 45, actually. 45. Part of this drawing is going to come out wrong just because of that. Just because of that line. I just assumed it to be a certain length, but anyways. I need to delete that, and the reason my menu isn't popping is because I turned dynamic input off. That's what dynamic input does. Alright, so 45, and we can offset this to 15, and we'll say offset U. That didn't quite do what I wanted. And what else does the shape look like? It's drawn straight across. We're going to give that this kind of line. Again, it gets a little intuitive, unfortunately, with isometric drawing. That's the general gist of it. Just really cycling through changes and getting the drawing exactly how you want it. And so this, we're going to draw this top plane. And I believe that's 60. Yeah, that's 60, and then we go 25 over. And then we close that off. We go flip the plane. We go down 25. And actually I think that's 20, that's why that's messed up. Anyway, sometimes you don't even need to calculate it. I'm just gonna go like this. Then I'm gonna go straight down. Trim this. And then we're gonna have, I think those are 10. So 40 minus, so yeah, it's 10. And then we're gonna go 10 up again. I'm gonna go 40 over, down, and we're gonna trim that up. Okay. So now we're gonna be, we got the right isometric plane going. Connect these two lines, and you see how it came out kind of funky? That's because this line actually is a lot shorter than I anticipated. So we'll fix that. And we'll fix it by doing this. We'll just keep going. But I'm going to draw the line straight up like it should. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna completely omit these two lines, pretend I know nothing about them. I know that line's right there, and I know these have a distance of 40. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to say that this has a distance of 45 actually, right? 45, yeah. And things got a little goofy here. I'll do that. We'll do that. Oh, that's the reason it's coming out weird. Because this is... okay. I was having a brain fart there. Anyways, this distance is 55 up. If I'm not mistaken. We go 55 up. Right, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna come all the way down. Huh. Why is that coming out a lot shorter than I thought it would? Let's delete that again. That has a distance of 60, yeah. This has a distance of 60. 40, huh. I wonder why it's coming out like that. Anyways, we're just going to complete the drawing. We're just going to look at this end here. 55, we're going to go over 15 on this side. Whoa. And so this has a distance of 45. And you see everything slowly starts to work out. And 45. And so now we can make that angle just like that. And we get them nice and lined up. 45. 45. And see, that's what it'll look like. We're also missing now an important part is the circle that needs to lie flat. So we're going to type in, or actually we're going to type in ellipse because that's what an isometric circle is. So we're going to type in ellipse, hit enter. Don't type any values in yet. You're going to notice iso circle right down here. Click I or type in I. I'm going to hit I and then hit enter. It's going to give us an iso circle. Flip your view to where you want it. And it'll just, so let's do that command again. Oh, come on. ISO circle. And we want the center to be right in the middle of these two lines. So you click that, and I think this one had the biggest diameter of 10, no, 20, yeah. And then we need the one down here at the bottom. We're gonna put it right there, another ISO circle. Ellipse, hit I, and this one had a diameter of 10. And even though this isn't centered, we can make it centered. So what we're going to do is delete this ISO circle. We're going to type in ellipse again, I, and we're going to draw it at this intersection point, diameter of 10, and we delete the lines that we drew to help us construct that. And there you go. That's isometric drawing. We have everything lined up. Review the dimensioning for isometrics too. There should be easy YouTube videos, but just to give you a quick gist of it, you're going to notice that these, you're going to want to leave ISO on, but you're also going to notice when you dimension that you're going to notice that the text isn't lined up. Well, the professor also counts off for that. So what we can do is we can type in rotate, and we're going to type in enter, rotate that. We're going to select the base point as this, quite simple, and it's 30 degrees. Actually, I'm wrong here. So we're going to hit Control Z, get that, and we're going to hit dimension, dim style. We're going to type in dim style. We should get a menu. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and modify this. The text will be aligned with the dimension line, so let's go ahead and put that, and let's hit close, and there you have it. It's aligned with the dimension line as it needs to be. There's also some standards that you might want to read up on how the dimensioning line needs to be. So let's just try out this 60 so I can give you a general idea. And again, of course, we're going to need to adjust all of this whenever we're done, but everything is done. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to hit this, right click, properties. And so in here you'll get a whole bunch of info. And we don't care about lines and arrows. We care about the text. We want the text view direction to be left to right. That's right text rotation. We don't want to put that as, let's see, it would rotate 90 degrees, right? And let's see if that did anything. Nope. Okay. So we're going to go again. Like I said, a lot of this is trial and error. We don't want to care about miscellaneous text. Okay. 1 degree. Somehow 1 degree did something. So we changed it to 1, but it's not quite right. We need to have it aligned to the plane that it's on. So I think 270 might be closer to right. So 270, let's look at that now. Let's try 20. 25, no. 45, no. 65. Anyways, you get the general idea. Let's try 85. 120, no. 270, that brings us all the way back. 180. Flips it all the way upside down. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, the view for that is 30 degrees. Anyways, actually, I'll keep you updated on that. I actually need a refresher course on the dimensioning line myself, but it needs to be lined up to this line. In fact, I think we can fix that. Let's hit F5 and let's dimension this again one last time. And we should at least get the proper dimensioning. You see how the dimension line still doesn't add up? It needs to be completely parallel. So what we're going to do is the lines and the arrows, let me minimize everything. The lines and the arrows do need to be lined up to this. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart here. I'll look at it tomorrow morning for sure. But yeah, this is the general gist of isometric drawing. Anyways, that's it.